Kunshan is a relatively small county-level town, just 50 kilometers west of Shanghai. However, with a high per capita GDP of $19,000 per year, Kunshan has recently become known as one of China's richest towns. Kunshan's attraction is partly due to the government's commitment to its citizens. This is most apparent in Kunshan's public transportation system. Specifically, Kunshan's public bicycle sharing system. Though not an entirely new idea, Kunshan followed in Hangzhou's footsteps as one of the first cities in China to implement this system. In 2011, partly to solve the last mile problem, or issue where Kunshan residents couldn't complete an outing solely on public transportation, Kunshan invested 8 million yuan to kickstart the bike-sharing program. What started with only 150 bike stations has blossomed into Kunshan's most popular transportation method, with fivefold the original amount in 2015. Kunshan's bike-sharing system has earned over 86 million yuan, has 20,000 bikes, and in the past year had 336,000 new cars, and is called one of Kunshan's most popular forms of transportation. The bike-sharing system has an office set up within Kunshan's public transportation office. Application for the bike card is fairly simple, with only a 200 RMB deposit and a few requirements. One of them being that you are 16 to 70 years old and you have a valid hukou or passport. To use the bike-sharing system, you just go to one of the 745 stations and enjoy 1 hour free with your card. Each additional hour will be 1 RMB added. To further investigate what makes the system so popular, we interviewed people to see what exactly the bikes were being used for. When asked why they used the public bike system, people often responded by saying, "It was convenient," or "everywhere they go has a station." They often responded saying that even though they have cars, they prefer to use the bikes and the bike stations because it's an easy way to save money or prevent traffic incidents. More similar answers are roughly translated below.
Funding this project was never a huge issue, with continued support from its users and the government. Instead, 3 effects were researched to determine the feasibility of this project and whether or not it is successful. The city brand effect is exemplified through an efficient infrastructure and an easily navigable city. Kunshan's public bike share system makes that possible, with 1 bike station every 500 meters. With 60,000 daily uses, Kunshan's public bike sharing has become a necessity for the average citizen. Recent studies have found a large portion of the Chinese population is inactive. This chart displays the China Movement Index. The solid black line is the amount of inactivity. It is increasing annually, while movement, displayed as the light gray and dark lines, are decreasing. Ideally, people should exercise 30 minutes per day, 5 days per week. Use of public bikes can help accomplish this. A recent study in California found that a 5% increase in activity can save nearly $6 billion in public health. If similar statistics are applied to Kunshan, savings could be equally dramatic. When examining bike-sharing systems in cities like Paris or New York, it becomes apparent just how beneficial biking is for tourism. In Paris, 89% agreed that bikes made traveling easier, while 54% agreed that bikes made them more willing to travel. We interviewed people in Kunshan to see their opinion on the healthy economic effect.
When asked about the feasibility of the bike system, one person responded saying that the system works very well, however some of the bikes have very poor quality. Specifically, he noticed that the brakes often have problems and take a while to be repaired. His suggestion for the system would be to upgrade the bicycles in the coming years and add more gears and better brakes for traction, saying that he would like to be able to go faster to get to work in a more convenient time. When asked about suggestions for the program, these girls responded by saying since they live so far from the center of the city, they suggest that there should be an addition of more stations. They think it's very inconvenient and, in their opinion, the last mile problem has not been solved. They both own cars, so they oftentimes have to drive into the city, park, and then ride the bikes from there, which they see as a waste of gas and money. This woman's suggestion is to add baby seats to the bicycles. It would allow her to travel with her young children and make use of the bike more easy for women.
In 2015, a study from the United Nations Natural Resources Forum declared China as the world's leader in public bike share systems, with more bikes and stations in use than the rest of the world combined. This is positive and encouraging news, as it shows how China is working on its motor vehicle emissions problem. The air pollution in China is tightly linked to car and other motor vehicle emissions. Bicycle transportation is especially appealing for its non-fuel, non-polluting operation, not to mention its positive health effects. Public bike shares are considered one of the best mobility options to address sustainability issues city space, such as climate change, vehicle emissions pollution, and traffic congestion. Policy measures that implement carpooling, more usage of public bike shares, and less use of motor vehicles are imperative for a more environmentally sustainable China. The safety of the health of all living species depends on concrete environmental policy actions.
Most people, when asked about the environmental effects, were already aware of this situation. Responses are roughly translated below. In conclusion, Kunshan's bike sharing system is both a convenient and environmentally friendly way to solve traffic issues, while encouraging the average citizen to be more active. Though there are still kinks in the system, such as relatively low quality bicycles or limited bike stations in the suburbs, this system has come a long way since its beginning in 2011. In the coming years, it is possible that these suggestions will come to fruition, as Kunshan continues to grow in size.